Good afternoon, and with us right now is August Pfluger, our congressman from Congressional District 11. And yesterday, August, you broke news that there's a possibility that the Department of Homeland Security is going to be dropping off illegal migrants in the Tom Green County area. Can you give us an update on what's happening, how you found out, and what's being done right now?
Well, Joe, this is nothing new when it comes to DHS and the lack of transparency. We were notified that CBP was looking at options to drop off, quote unquote, busloads of illegal immigrants inside San Angelo. This is just the latest in a string of incidents, I think, over the last year and a half since I've been in office that the Biden administration has done. And I'll remind everyone that in Midland last year, we had an unaccompanied minor facility for illegal immigrants under the age of 17 that was started, and that was overnight. They basically came in and put up to 700 kids in a facility, called the man camp, if you will. And that actually lasted for several months until we were able to push back and get it moved and get it out of Midland. But, this is just unacceptable. We don't have confirmation yet. We've reached out to Department of Homeland Security and CBP and have not received an official response. But it's something that I've asked Secretary Mayorkas multiple times, what his intentions are, not just on this type of issue, but in the, I guess, the entirety of the issue on border security. Enough is enough. San Angelo, Midland, Odessa, nowhere in District 11 or Texas or anywhere in the United States deserves to have the flood of illegal immigrants that we see causing an unfunded mandate on our school systems, on our hospitals, on our law enforcement, the number of high-speed chases and criminal activity that we see, the rise in violence. It's unacceptable, and enough is enough. And that's the reason that we wanted to make sure not only was the community alerted, but the elected officials, the police chief, the sheriff, people that are in position to safeguard and secure our community, that they have a heads up. And we're going to continue to push back as much as we possibly can because this is unacceptable.
Well, speaking of the pushback, and of course you come down to the district a lot. I see you down here in San Angelo a lot. And, the gas is approaching $5 a gallon. We'll probably be at $6 by Labor Day. People feel a lot of pressure from the inflation. And at the same time, we have oil at $117, $118 a barrel. And there's relatively zero activity compared to, let's say, 2015 when we had the last boom. People in the oil industry are telling me in the Permian, it's real hard to find venture capital. It's real hard to find people to support drilling new wells, new exploratory wells, and things like that. What is going on? Are we just going to just sit back and buy oil from Saudi Arabia while the Permian stays vacant?
Well, if it was up to President Biden, that's exactly what he wants. He wants to outsource everything when we can produce it right here at home. I mean, despite the fact that the Permian is producing a record number, the rig count and the amount of activity, as you mentioned, is down from pre-pandemic levels. We have the resources here. The administration, through Biden's lack of leadership, have made a conscious decision to make it so difficult through the permitting process. And like you mentioned, the ESG issues with access to capital are so incredibly difficult that the United States in this area looks like a third world country where people don't want to invest in the United States because the political environment is so unstable. This is a direct result of Biden's policies where they prioritize putting literally Moscow over Midland. And I know you followed my Midland over Moscow legislation. Recently, the administration has gone back to OPEC, back to Saudi Arabia, and asked them to produce more. And once again, I'll use the word unacceptable. We have the resources. We produce it cleaner. We produce it more efficiently. Not only do we need it, but our partners and allies need it around the world, which strengthens their national security just like it does for us. So we're going to continue to push back on the administration for their poor choices. The Permian Basin is the leader in secure energy. We've got more resources there than anywhere else in the world, and we should be producing it not only for America, but for our partners and allies around the world.
All right, one last question, August Pfluger, our congressman. I want to know what is going to change after the November elections. If what we're seeing, we're probably going to have what they call a red wave, and we might possibly take back the House of Representatives and do pretty well in the Senate. What do you think how do you think the mood of the country will change?
Well, I think the mood of the country is going to make that change, and I do believe that we are going to take back the House. I hope we take back the Senate. We didn't get here overnight, and it's going to take months, if not years, to unwind the bad policies. And especially over the last 2 years, the policies of one-party rule, where Democrats under Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden have tried their best to really ruin the country in every aspect. So, I know that there's a lot of hope that we're going to take back the House. I think we will. But in addition to that, I would ask for patience because the oversight and getting to the bottom of so many different issues is going to take some time. We're starting that right now. Myself and my office are writing letters to every possible agency that we can think of, especially those that affect our district, our industries, and our way of life. And we're looking for that oversight right this second and want to make sure that come January of next year that we get the answers to questions that we've been asking and that we haven't gotten answers or sufficient answers to yet.
Well, Congressman Pfluger, thank you very much for taking time out of I know you were down there on the House voting on some things, and you took about 7 minutes out of your time to talk to us. We really appreciate you coming on San Angelo Live. I'm Joe Hyde. That's August Pfluger, your congressman for Congressional District 11. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.